Well, a very good evening and welcome to KTN Business. I'm Abi Agina. Last week, the Public Service Commission re-advertised the position of Deputy Governor of the Central Bank after failing to get what it terms as a suitable candidate out of the 42 candidates who initially applied for the job. In the re-advertisement for the position, the PSC further locked out state officials and lowered the qualifications required for the Deputy Governor. In the second of the four-part series looking at the succession of Njuguna Ndung'u at the CBK, we look at the false start that was the recruitment of the Deputy CBK and why questions are being raised over the recruitment process.
On March 11th, an advert went out calling for applications for the roles of Chairman, Governor and Deputy Governor of the Central Bank. The applications came rolling in, 8 for the Chairman, 22 for the Governor and 42 for the Deputy Governor's positions. Among those who threw their hearts into the contest for the Deputy Governorship includes Rose Ndetho, the Director of Strategic Management at CBK, Dr. Daniel Amanja and Moses Kiptui from the Kenya School of Monetary Studies, Mark Lesit, the Director of Banking Services and Risk Management at CBK, and Gerald Nyaoma, the Director of Financial Markets at CBK. However, while the Public Service Commission shortlisted candidates for both the Chairman and Governor positions, it did not shortlist anyone for the job of Deputy Governor. Interestingly, the Commission said the position did not attract adequate applicants and would instead be re-advertised.
The problem with the Central Bank position of Deputy is that it has never been correctly managed for very many years.
But what went wrong with this particular recruitment? The problem could have emanated from the terms of reference offered for the role. In the re-advertisement, the PSC said no one would be appointed Deputy Governor if they are a salaried employee of any public entity or are a director, officer, employee, partner or shareholder of any bank or financial institution, something that analysts say automatically locks out some of the most qualified candidates.
A position is open and you're not allowing new people to actually apply for positions for which they are qualified, then it raises eyebrows by saying, okay, so what's happening? Why is the deck being cleared in such a ruthless way?
Even more interestingly, while the initial advertisement called for candidates to have a minimum education of a master's degree, the Commission opted to downgrade the qualifications to bachelor's level, seemingly to attract more applicants. But experts are questioning this move, given that the person appointed to this role would have a hand in the formulation of the country's monetary policy.
So giving the impression that certain candidates will be favored because the job requirements are actually being stepped down, either to favor a specific candidate or to lock out someone else altogether. So that's not a good, it's not a good show.
The analysts are now demanding answers from the National Treasury and the Board of the Central Bank, saying the route chosen to pick the Deputy Governor was flawed and faulting them for failing to manage the succession at the institution charged with overseeing Kenya's currency, money supply, interest rates and regulating the entire banking sector.
Once people begin to look at it, whether politically or with a different eye, then you begin to say that, hey, this is not a properly done recruitment job. It even affects not only the confidence, but it affects the reputations of those who've applied, because people think that for some reason or another, they manipulated the system.
Because if you remember Otich, he did mention privately that we should not worry. This is not a process to worry us, to be done correctly. So I think the language of the advert, if we wanted to get the answer, we should go to the National Treasury. In this case, the CS himself.
Adelaide Changole, KTN Business.